Greetings, my name is Karen O'Neilson, and this is a special VHS presentation of the Brooch Approach. It's a step-by-step guide about how to maximize your brooch wearing in every day. So, to start off, I've got an assortment of brooches here that we'll use just for some examples, but I think I want to start off with the most obvious brooch approach, which is adding a brooch to your scarf. Now, you might think, oh, well, the most obvious is just wearing one on my lapel, right? Or maybe keeping my cardigan closed. Obviously, everyone knows that you can do that with brooches, but we're taking it a step further with some out-of-the-box options. We're thinking outside of the brooch. The first option I'm showing here is a classic loose scarf tie with a gold accented brooch around the knot. This is a standard size scarf of an imitation silk variety. Now what I've done here is tied the knot, and then I've put the brooch on the knot portion to make sure it stays tied closed. From there, you can just slide the brooch over the head and then have a lovely accent with a metallic brooch piece in the middle of the knot. And then either wearing the scarf off to the side or out to the front, it just really elevates an outfit from there. There's just one option, and you could see how a versatile brooch like this looks really good on a lot of different styles of faux silk scarf as well. I've got the hottest accessory of the season here, and that's the top hat. Now, I don't have one in a boring, just standard black. These are all colorful. But I'll show you how adding a brooch to your top hat can really take it to the next level and add a fun accent where otherwise you just have the boring sort of silk ribbon around the side. I guess starting with the pink hat here. Imagine having the pink hat, and then along the front of the hat, look, adding this fun owl brooch. So I've got it stuck in there. It might take a little bit of extra work to feed it all the way through. I won't do that for this VHS presentation, but you can see how adding a gold metallic element with rhinestones really makes this hat extra special. This one's got just a couple of owls on it, and I've affixed it to the front of the hat. Now you could wear it around the back, or even the side, or maybe off to the side slightly, you know, maybe around here or here. But as you can see, it really makes the hat stand out even more than it just being this bright hot pink color. Looks great though. Now I'll take this one off the hat here and show you how we can do multiple accessories. You've got your green hat, green top hat, and then you could add, look at this, you could add your own green scarf to it. And I'm just tying it around, and you could add a bow in the back, and that might hang down. Now with this bow in the back, gosh, which brooch would I want to add? You know, I could add the same one here. That looks good. So that brooch could hold the scarf that I've tied around the hat to the brim of the hat, but also add a fun accent. Or I could leave that around the side there, bring this back around the front, and then wow, what if I add a really wild gold, it's not a clown or a jester. What if we added to the front of this hat this gold clown? It's a sad clown with the collar here and the hat, a little bit of red accents. So you've got the complementary colors in there. So something like this could be really fun. That looks great. So that's on the front of the hat, and then the back can have this bow. So this one's kind of a green on green style here. It's great for springtime, great for St. Patrick's Day. Lots of options there. And then again, I've got this thin scarf. A thin scarf like this. You could tie around or just overlap once. And then add, oh gosh, maybe this one. No, this one. Add a brooch to the front of the scarf here. And it's just a really standout piece now that has the silk-like fabric and then the gold elements over top. And don't forget about the yellow hat here. Gosh, you know what? I think this hat looks good on its own. You could use the same owls here, but you know what I'd do for this one? I think this one could sit off to the side a little bit, and that looks really fun. Just feeding that through there. Good. Now you've got the owls off to the side. They're askew, but that makes it more fun, especially for a yellow hat like this. And then you've just got a fun little piece here. Maybe you throw some feathers in there. Maybe some other little pieces that could stick out, a flower or something like that. That would look really nice. All right. Now this chain here, there's already something on it, but I could remove what's currently on the chain and then reuse it in a whole new light by adding on a brooch attachment. These brooch attachments make it so that you can feed the pin of the brooch through here and then attach it to any necklace chain of choice. It's very revolutionary. So with this beautiful butterfly piece here, I can feed the end of the brooch through there. I could feed that through and then put that in there, secure it closed, and look, now I've got this loop-de-loop right here. And with that loop-de-loop, I can feed my necklace chain easily through. And now I have a butterfly brooch necklace that I can wear on a chain. Now it's a little floppy because it's not up against, a neck. And this one is a little bit heavy with the stone that's in the middle. So sometimes it works a little bit better with your lighter brooches or more flat style brooches. But you can see how I didn't have a necklace like this before, and now I do. So that's something. And then when you're done, you can take it off the jewelry chain and then easily remove the brooch attachment clasp, just like that. Done. Now let's talk accessories. Obviously the brooch itself is an accessory, but you can add other accessories to your accessories. By that I mean adding the brooch to things. So with this silk tie, it's very plain, looks nice on its own, but imagine you junk it up by adding lots of different brooches to the tie. Now, I borrowed this from my spouse, so I don't want to poke holes in this one. But if it's your own tie, it's fine. Now, these are a little bit heavy because I've chosen some of the larger brooches. So keep that in mind. It does add a little bit of heft. But you can have a really beautiful statement and wear more than one brooch at once by fastening them to a necktie. So that's a necktie option. But you could also make a bow tie. So this is really fun. It's an iridescent fabric. It's not the most breathable, but it is durable and a little bit stretchy. With a fabric like this, tie it around. Not like a tie, but more like a bow tie. And then you make a loop-de-loop. Loop-de-loop it through there, right? Or have it like this, and then tie something around the middle, have this side, this is just extra fabric here, have this side go out, and then you've got a bow tie here. You know what, I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit to really show you what I'm talking about. Okay, well, this isn't working how I thought, but you can attach these to a bow tie as well. So imagine just a silk black bow tie, and then you put this one in the middle. So this would add a lot of interest to the middle of the bow tie. You're already asking for interest because you're wearing a bow tie, so why not just add an accessory to that as well to really set it over the top. Something like this would be the perfect option. So we've talked about ties, top hats, ties, top hats, the connectors, iridescent fabrics, silk fabrics, obviously scarves. So many different scarf options. But don't forget about shoes. Shoes can have brooches as well. Now, it would be a little bit easier to do this with a clip-on earring. It's a clip-on earring so you can put onto the front or onto the back. But if you feed this through the top, if you put that through the top of the shoe, wow, that becomes a really elegant shoe now, right? It's a Calvin Klein, so it's already an elegant shoe, but now it's really elegant. You might step on these a little bit, so perhaps a better idea would be to go around to the back of the shoe and feed it through very carefully through the leather, or hot glue it to something sturdy and then hot glue it to the back of the shoe. Look at that. Now you've got fun jangly things every time you walk and take a step in these high heels. And they're just a plain white, and this really adds a lot to it. You've also probably heard about the Bracelet. It's a hot holiday season accessory, and that's where you could have different brooches attached to any sort of fabric ribbon of your choice, and then you tie that around your wrist to make a broochlet. So you can see it gets a little bit heavy. So again, these are some of my larger brooch options, but it could even just be one interesting brooch. Look at that. It's ready for the holidays with the gold and then the other gold bracelet here. So if I didn't want to do that, what else I could do? I could carefully feed this through this bracelet. Now I wouldn't do it while it's on. I would do it before I put it on. But you feed that through there, then attach it. Now I've got a large brooch. Well, oops. Let's try another one. Let's try this one. Okay. You could also take this brooch, feed it through here. I think the other one would have been a better size. It might be helpful to have a friend do this with you, or maybe put the brooch, there we go. Okay, this one doesn't quite fit, but you can see how now I've added a really big sort of gem element to this bracelet. It's not a gem though, it's a big brooch. Yeah. Maybe something like this would be better. Oh yeah, that looks good. Anyways, you can add a brooch to your bracelet, turn it into a broochlet, and then you've got a whole new piece of jewelry for your jewelry wardrobe. I think the bracelet should be a little bit more taut. I think that would help. There we go. That looks nice. I'll just take off my bracelet here. So you can see there's a lot of different options for your brooches. You've got the extended, the clasps here, different sizes to turn your brooch into a necklace piece. You can put it on a bracelet, you can put them on shoes, you can obviously put them on your blouse. You can put them on your top hat or your bowler hats. Really any hat options are great for your brooches. And then of course your scarves, and most obviously your neckties, and then your lapel and cardigans as well. So don't limit yourself with brooches and maximize your brooch approach. So thank you so much for buying this instructional VHS. Again, I'm Karen O'Neilson, and I hope that this helps you to maximize your brooch approach.